YouTube, it's your boy, the official Go Getter. I'm coming at you guys back with another video, man. Before we hop into the video, follow me on all platforms. Official Go Getter underscore at Instagram, official Go Getter underscore at TikTok, and right here, subscribe to my YouTube channel, official Go Getter. Today, we're just gonna hop straight to the video. Hop straight into the video. Today, we're gonna be talking about 3 things I wish I could tell myself at 16. And if you're somebody who's 16, younger than 16, about to be 16, a little bit older, whatever it is, this is some tips that you could use. And even if you're not somebody who's around that age, like me, I'm 20 now. If you're around my age or if you're a little bit older than me, you can think about what things you wanted to tell yourself at 16 or you want to tell yourself at 16. So it's just a good thought-provoking question no matter what age you are. But right here, I'm going to be reading off these notes, man, to make sure I can come concise and straight to the points. Confidence. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the fact that confidence comes from within. So something I used to do a lot is I used to emphasize clothes and cars, right? So in high school, I really used to emphasize the fact that I would put certain clothes on and I would look fresh. And once again, I don't know if you guys watched the past video, but I went to a white high school, so them having a lot of money, it would make me. I didn't grow up rich, but I didn't grow up poor. But being around rich people, it would show you. It kind of made me feel less than. So I would try to fill that void with putting on certain clothes. I would fill that void by putting on certain clothes. So I would make sure every day I would look fresh. I had a fresh pair of kicks on. I had a fresh new outfit on, and all that. And I would do that to fill the void. And I would also look at other people and compare outfits. And somebody had a more expensive outfit on, or somebody had a better looking outfit on, or if they was different colors. I used to just compare myself with people all the time, based on materialistic items. So that was something that I wish I could go back and tell myself, like, all that stuff really does not matter. I don't put so much emphasis on that. Put more emphasis on building that relationship with yourself, and put more emphasis on what you have within, such as your intellectual abilities, such as your spirit, such as how you operate in certain situations, just your integrity. Build those characteristics instead of focusing on what you have on and focus on what you look like. So I will go back and tell myself that along with confidence coming from within, you have to develop a great relationship with yourself. So I didn't have a good relationship with myself, and I would try to fit in with the crowd. And this is like, it would fluctuate, turn towards the end of my 16, of me being 16, I had started working on self-improvement and stuff and started developing more time with myself, right? But there was a moment of time where I was worried about being fit in and trying to fit in with the crowd and trying to look a certain way and fit in with a certain group of people and have a different certain type of persona, or have a certain type of persona, as you get caught up in high school, right? Or at that age, as you're becoming a teen and slowly becoming a man, you focus on different things that don't matter. So I would go back and tell myself, all that does not matter. Honestly, you'll get more praise being yourself and having people just come to you because you're doing something that not everybody else is doing. So that's something I would tell myself, keeping in mind about the fact that you don't need to fit in with other people. Let those other people fit in with you. So the next thing that I would tell myself at 16, number 2, would be the fact that you got to embrace your time alone. It's okay to be alone, right? During my time around that age, I think I had a girlfriend. Her and I had just got out of a relationship, and I was just now realizing that it's okay for me to just not have a relationship and not have many friends and not go to every single party and not try to interact with the cool kids. Like, it's okay. There's no need for a relationship, and you got to understand that elevation requires separation. So I was in a period where I had just got done going through that workshop that opened up my mind. Shout out to my friend Izzy, but it had opened up to my mind. My bro Izzy took me to a workshop that his dad goes to. And during the workshop, it was just talking about the brain and how the brain relates to attaining your goals, and how the brain relates to just everything and becoming the person that you want. So when I realized that I could truly just become somebody that I wanted to be, that person that I had in my mind, when I looked up to certain people, I realized that it's possible. In times on my side, the earlier I started diving into self-improvement immediately. So that led me to realize, you know, I have to tell myself that elevation requires separation, because before that period of me separating, I was trying to hang out with different people. I was trying to keep my relationships with different people, and I was still indulging in different things. But once I started to separate myself and started to focus more on learning and more on developing myself and taking the time to work out, taking the time to build my finances and get right and understand what money was like, as long as building my knowledge and reading my audiobooks and watching these new videos and building my spirit, I started to lose a lot of friends. I started to lose just the urge to hang out with different friends. I started to lose like I said, the urge to just even be around girls and have a girlfriend. I went on semen retention. I went months upon months without even, I went from having sex all the time with a girlfriend and being like, a little teenager, releasing all the time and not focusing on what's coming out of me and not focusing on the energy that I'm releasing, to just not having sex for about, it was like 5 to 6 months. So with that being said, elevation requires separation. And I would tell myself, even though I didn't have a bad time handling it, I would just tell myself in preparation for it, because there were other times as I got older, 17, 18, 19, where I was just like being around certain people because I felt like I had to, but I was still trying to elevate and be around people at the same time. But elevation doesn't work like that. Elevation truly does require separation. And last point to make on embrace being alone, you have to develop a relationship with self. I took a good time during that period where I was 16, 17, developing a good relationship with myself, understanding who I am and who I wanted to be, and then taking the steps to get there, writing those down, practicing in the mirror and being able to speak, right? At 16, 17, I prepared myself for the times where I was 18, 19, 20, and I wanted to make content, right? My first content was released. I believe I was 19 years old when I put my first piece of content on Instagram. I was posting content at 18 on YouTube, but that was more so for practice. I wasn't really releasing it or advertising it or um, promoting it, as you should say. When I hit 19, that's when I started being more in the camera, being more in the light, and put myself out there really, where people started to understand and know this is what I've been doing. Um, Now, flash forward to 20, I'm a lot better and I feel much more comfortable speaking to the camera, right? That's because of the work that I put in at 16, 17, and sitting in front of the mirror, speaking to the mirror, articulating myself a certain way, reading books and trying to figure out the certain way where I want to form words and figure out the way that I speak and all those different things. And then now it's just about doing it so much where you repeat it so much where you just get great at it. So I'm trying to make sure I repeat it as much as I can, get in this camera, speak to people in general as much as I can, so I can make sure that my words are coming across crisp. My words are coming across. I'm articulating. I'm talking about my words coming across crispy, and my words are fumbling right now. That's what the brain does to you. But I want my words to just come across crisp. I want to be able to articulate my certain way where articulate myself in a way where you understand that I understand what I'm talking about, where you understand that I understand what I'm talking about. And then you always want to sound like you know what you're talking about. And the easiest way to sound like you know what you're talking about is to just know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, just be quiet. Let the other person talk. Somebody who else knows what they're talking about speak about a certain topic you don't know much about. Because if you're acting like you know what you talk about, personally, I can see right through that. Other people can see right through that as well. And honesty goes a long way. So third, focus on finding new friends. That is going to be the third thing that I would tell myself at the age of 16. Focus on finding new friends. It's okay to have friends that you grew up with, but you don't need to stay around the friends that you grew up with. And that's the first point that I'm going to make. You don't have to be around the people you grew up with because you just grew up with them. That's the comfortability in this, right? There's a lot of friends that I held close to me. There's a lot of relationships and activities that I held close to me because there were things that I grew up doing, and there were friends that I grew up hanging out with. So I felt obligated to be around them. But no, You don't have to feel obligated, and you don't have to hang around anybody who is not serving you. So as I got higher and higher on my journey and got further and further on my journey, I should say, the people around me who were closest to me and that I was around growing up we started to drift, not start to drift apart, but we kind of started to drift apart as far as attaining goals. So my goals and the way I operated in life was different than the way they operated in life. So that would start to clash in certain conversations. So his belief system is different from my belief system. And I would try to hold on to the friendship, but that friendship is hindering you more than you think, right? Because now you're going to be influenced by your beliefs, their belief system. Because if you have full-fledged belief that you can do something, and then you bring it up to this person, and then they bring up to you that it might not go the way it wanted to go, now that's a person being negative, and now that takes you off course of how you were already thinking. Because if you just believe something and you're gonna have faith that it's gonna work, I promise you it's gonna work. But then you add that little sprinkle of just doubt, and it's not gonna work. That fear, that doubt, other people will still instill that into you, and that's nothing but an illusion at the end of the day. Period. Point blank. So you don't need to be around the friends that you grew up with. Find some new friends. Focus on finding some new friends. How did I focus on new friends, and how would I tell myself to focus on new friends? I would say go to more networking events and build relationships. So like I did, I traveled. One of the examples I could take is I traveled by myself. I let nobody know. I traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to the InvestFest conference. I went by myself. I had no friends out there. I had no friends. I didn't let any friends know here. I had one friend. He took me to the airport. I didn't even let my mom know. I didn't even let my parents know. I just went. So my pops knew, actually, because I can have those conversations with my pops. So that goes to just, I can't have those conversations with my moms and my aunties and all those conversations with them, because if I say I'm going to go to this InvestFest conference by myself in Atlanta, the way women think, they're going to be panicking, and they're going to put it down. They're going to think negative. But I told my pops, because I know my pops, he's going to be somebody who understands, because he's somebody who has that similar mindset to me, because I get my mindset in a lot of what I do from him. So I let him know, and he supported me. And you need the people that are going to support you. Pops was calling me, making sure I was good while I was out there. I was out there by myself for 3 days. I got on the trip. He supported me. He trusted me. He had faith in me because I had faith in myself, right? But sometimes when you have faith in yourself, it'll scare other people away, and then they'll doubt you because they don't have as much faith in themselves as you do in yourself, and it'll just anger them. But that's a different topic. But like I did, I went to that networking event and I built relationships. I got content. I put myself out there, right? That was one of the biggest breakthroughs for me, one of the greatest experiences of my life. But I did it all alone, right? And I did it with the purpose of trying to go find more people and find more friendships and more like-minded people. So do things like that. I'm not saying you have to travel outside your state and do what I did, but I'm saying that's an example, maybe an extreme example. But do something such as, find some people in your city, DM them, figure out, a time for you guys to link up and, maybe get some coffee or link up and, go get a workout in or something like that. Somebody with a like-minded idea, or, go to the like-minded mindset, go to the Eventbrite on your phone and figure out what events are going on in your city related to what you like to do, and go ahead and create some new friends, right? Because you have to understand there's other people trying to create new friends out there in the world just the same way you are. So with that being said, we're going to go on to the next topic, the next point that I'm going to make about focusing on finding new friends, and that's going to be commute. Boom, commute to the environment that you want to be around. So I live in Seattle, Washington, right? I don't live directly in the heart of the city of Seattle, right? I don't live in downtown Seattle. I live kind of on the outer skirts, about 25 minutes, 30 minutes out of downtown, right? And down in the heart of the city. But I travel to the city dang near every day. Almost every day I travel to the city so I can get experiences with different walks of life, for one. For two, change my scenery. And for three, the more you put yourself around higher vibrations, the more your frequency is going to enhance and increase, right? So I'm trying to put myself in different environments that are higher than the environment that I come from, the environment that I'm in, right? So I can increase my frequency, because if I keep myself in this environment, I get so accustomed to the way um, impoverished people live and impoverished people think, in the way their mind is trapped. If I get so accustomed to that and don't open up my perspective in my mind, then that just, it makes me one of them. You know, I don't get to where I want to get to. I don't get to have certain conversations. I don't get to grow the way that I want to grow. But in order to grow, you got to put yourself in different environments. So I go to the city to interact with intellect, much more intelligent people, intellectual people, people with more common sense, and just that mutual understanding of just life. Honestly, um, you know, when you're dealing with impoverished people, they think, and it's on purpose, it's by design, because naturally they're not open up to the same resources people with money and more money than them have. So that traps their brain and that lowers their frequency. So now they're here and we're here and other people are here. Um, but at the end of the day, we have to realize no matter what area you're in, it doesn't stop you from commuting to another. So even if you're a poor person in LA, that doesn't stop you from, if you're a poor person in LA, right, it doesn't stop you from grooming yourself the right way, making sure you put the right clothes on, making sure you look clean and present yourself the right way, and going to a library in Beverly Hills. That doesn't stop you from doing so, because if it's a public library in Beverly Hills, that's just an example, but like just in a nicer environment, it doesn't stop you. Only thing stopping you is yourself, because if you go YouTube, that's my bad, man. My mic went to cut off in the middle of it, man. My battery went to run out for the mic. But with that being said, that's the end of the video, though, man. So the 3 topics that we touched on was confidence comes from within. It's okay to be alone. Embrace time alone, and focus on finding new friends. And these are the 3 things that I wish I knew at 16. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know, even if you're not somebody who's 16 and you around my age, and you know, think about the things that you would tell yourself at your younger age, right? Think about the things that you've learned. You know, think about the things that you tell yourself at a younger age so you could prevent a little cousin or a little brother or, you know, just somebody else younger than you that you could help prevent make the same mistakes, because that's what life is all about. Going through life and learning the lessons and then helping others not make the same mistakes and help others learn those lessons, right? I was having a talk with my sister the other day. She's 14, and she made a joke, and she was like, some. Like, she was making a joke when we were being playful, but she, along the lines, was like she was gonna be better than me in life, but she was being a joke. She was being playful, but I wanted her to understand, like, that is my goal for you. The same way my parents have set us up better than they were at my age, so I could be better than them in life, is the same way I want to work hard so I could put them in a better position, right? I could put them and, you know, my cousin younger than her in a better position, and then, you know, cousins that come after that in a better position, right? So that it's all about that generation and making the cycle go on, you know, not making it harder for the next person, but making it easier for the next person, so we can get further as a community, a family, just get further together. So like, comment, and subscribe, man. It's your boy Official Go Getter. I'm out. Yes, sir.